Augusta's fire chief is feeling some heat tonight. Commissioners wanted to hear from Chief Chris James after the department missed a deadline to get about 200 oxygen tanks certified. But grilling the chief came to an abrupt end. News Channel 6's George Eskola is in the newsroom tonight. George, going into this, you could tell that it was going to be a rough time for the fire chief.
Yeah, that's because city leaders are hot about a few of his issues. One is the request for proposals for ambulance service the chief helped write. There was a motion to do away with that and negotiate with Gold Cross, the current provider. Last month, a fire engine caught fire and forced the department to get a new one at a cost of $700,000. And then there was the missed deadline to get those oxygen tanks tested. The chief was facing tough questions on that when a commission committee decided to throw cold water on that. Commissioner Donnie Smith was turning up the heat on Fire Chief Chris James about missing the deadline on getting about 200 oxygen tanks tested.
When you ask pointed questions, you expect pointed answers. And when people give you a song and dance and don't answer you directly, then they have to be held accountable for that.
Smith was grilling James on whether the missed deadline put firefighters in danger when his fellow committee members voted to end the questioning, believing Smith had crossed the line.
It's definitely hostile. I mean, maybe the questions were legitimate, but it depends on how you go about phrasing your questions. You know, I'm in your face. That's hostile.
Were you being hostile? That was, you were not. Why were you cut off?
I don't know. You have to ask the chairman of the Public Safety Committee that.
Commissioner Alvin Mason chairs the committee and said the issue had been discussed.
I felt that there was a lot of nitpicking, perhaps some unnecessary questioning and hostile actions in the questions, and so that's totally unnecessary.
Smith could have called the chief directly with his questions instead of doing it in a public meeting. James said that did not take place.
No, he has not talked to me, specifically about, to say I'm going to ask these questions or I got questions about this.
Smith still has questions, but thanks to the Public Safety Committee, he's still looking for answers.
I asked a question that I couldn't get an answer to because the chair cut me off. That was what we were trying to get to. The issue will go before the full commission next week. Smith says he plans to resume the debate over whether the missed deadline put the public or firefighters at risk. By the way, according to Chief James, all those fire oxygen tanks passed inspection.